And now, of course, moving on. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, while in New Delhi, has urged US President Donald Trump to ensure fair treatment for all countries following the US leader's decision to impose additional tariffs on imports after a Supreme Court ruling limited his global tariffs. Lula expressed Brazil's stance, emphasizing that the country does not seek a new Cold War or foreign interference, advocating for equal treatment for all nations. So this is, viewers, the latest that is coming in, of course, from Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. And while he was in Delhi, he's urged the US President Donald Trump to ensure fair treatment for all countries following the US leader's decision to impose additional tariffs on imports after a Supreme Court ruling limited his global tariffs. Lula expressed Brazil's stance, emphasizing that the country does not seek a new Cold War or foreign interference, advocating for equal treatment for all nations. I have Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, foreign affairs expert, joining me. Mr. Srivastava, what would you like to say on this?
I think the remarks made by Brazilian President Lula is very appropriate. And obviously, Brazil is a country which also believes in the rules-based order. And Brazil has had a very tense relationship with the United States of America till recent past. But now I think Brazil and the United States of America, they are mending their ties. The United States of America's Trump administration had imposed 50% tariff on Brazil. But now I think on the most sector, 40% tariffs have been withdrawn by the U.S. side, which they had imposed on Brazil. So I think the ties between the U.S. and Brazil is improving. But certainly this remark by Brazilian President Lula is a very visionary remark, and such kind of intervention, such kind of a leadership is required at this point of time when the rules-based order is under threat, when the economic order is under threat, and the countries are behaving ambitiously, and over-ambitious behaviors are being shown by the superpowers and countries like United States of America. So I think this remark is a very good and legendary remark, as I said, and this should be considered seriously. But let's hope that this message goes to the Washington D.C. too, and United States of America must give a fair treatment to all other countries of the world and nations of the world, including Brazil, like a responsible country. They want to have a good relationship with the U.S. But now the ball is on the U.S. court that what kind of behavior Trump administration shows to the world, and that is what he has said.
Mr. Srivastava, how would you characterize the current state of U.S.-Brazil relations under Lula's leadership?
Relationship, as I said, has had some tense period, but now things are getting better, and the United States of America has withdrawn about 40% tariff which they had imposed on Brazilian various sectors. But this relationship is going to have a very good future in my assessment, but the Trump administration has had a certain reservations with regard to President Lula's administration's approach towards former Brazilian President Bolsonaro, and also the kind of tough policies Brazil adopted towards the U.S. Various products. So that Donald Trump administration did not like it, and because of such differences, they had imposed about 50% tariff, but now they have reduced it on most of the sectors, and 40% tariffs are gone now. So I think the relationship is getting better now. But this remark by Brazilian President Lula that U.S. should treat all countries equally, I think it's a remark of a global leader, I would say. And this remark is not only related to U.S.-Brazil relationship, but it's a very general remark he has made with regard to United States of America's behavior with the world, which at this moment is a matter of concern.
Thank you, Mr. Srivastava, for joining me. Now, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, during his ongoing visit to India, reflected on how his 2005 trip to India significantly shaped Brazil's economic strategy. Lula recalled how India's growing international hard currency reserves inspired Brazil to follow suit, eventually transforming the nation from an IMF debtor to one of its creditors, with reserves of $360 billion. Addressing the India-Brazil Economic Forum in New Delhi, Lula highlighted the importance of this policy shift, noting how it helped Brazil secure a strong position on the global economic stage. Brian Thomas is joining me with more details. Brian, what more can you tell us? We're going to try and reconnect with Brian, but of course, Brazilian President, viewers, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, during his ongoing visit to India, reflected on how his 2005 trip to India significantly shaped Brazil's economic strategy. Lula recalled how India's growing international hard currency reserves inspired Brazil to follow suit, eventually transforming the nation from an IMF debtor to one of its creditors, with reserves of $360 billion. Addressing the India-Brazil Economic Forum in New Delhi, Lula also highlighted the importance of this policy shift, noting how it helped Brazil secure a strong position on the global economic stage. Brian Thomas is joining me with more details. Brian, what more can you tell us?
Well, Vaishali, clearly as of now, what we are getting to know the details is the fact that the visit has been extremely important as it goes on, and clearly it has been.
We seem to have lost that line there, but we'll try and reconnect with my colleague. Now, the visit of Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has concluded. Taking to social media platform X, the MEA said that the visit of President Lula added significant momentum to the strategic partnership between India and Brazil. So this is the latest, of course, that we're getting you. Now, the visit of Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has concluded, and he's of course taken to the social media platform X. The MEA said that the visit of President Lula added significant momentum to the strategic partnership between India and Brazil. That is the latest development we're getting you, and Brian Thomas is joining me with more details. Brian, taking to social media platform X, the MEA has said that the visit of President Lula added significant momentum to the strategic partnership between India and Brazil. What more can you tell us?
Well, Vaishali, yes, clearly, calling India and Brazil democratic brothers of the global south. Firstly, President Lula da Silva hailed the deepening strategic partnership and recalled the 2005 visit also as a turning point in bilateral economic relations. And now even after the visit has been concluded, Ranjit Jaiswal, who is the MEA spokesperson, stated that Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's India visit has been concluded after delivering major momentum to the India-Brazil strategic partnership, and even several forward-looking cooperation outcomes have also been highlighted across key sectors, with even Lula was seen off at a departure by Minister of State Pavitra Margarita, who is again the MEA MOS, marking the close of a visit aimed at strengthening trade, critical mineral cooperation, energy transition, and even global south coordination between the two democracies. Yes.
Thanks for those details, Brian.